So this is feedback from the listening part of the exam, and we're going to focus on the listening one because you did quite well in the listening two. Congratulations. So the listening one was about physical descriptions. It says como es, how is he or she. And my main tip here was is revise key vocabulary. In this case, you needed to know vocabulary for physical descriptions. Otherwise, it was challenging. First of all, let's start by reading the instructions because that's always our starting point. So in this case, it says for the listening part of the assessment, you need access to YouTube. There are 2 videos you need to watch before completing the following activities. You can stop and repeat as many times as you need, but please refrain from accessing the transcript or subtitles. So one thing that is different from regular exams, from this exam online, is that you can stop and repeat as many times as you need it. So in a regular exam, you only have 2 chances to hear the recording, and you have to be very focused and take notes the first time, etc. But in this case, you can watch the video many times. So you have no limit in that. And that's something I encourage you to do later on. Also says what's the first 1 minute and 10 seconds of this video of the traditional festival Gigantes y Cabezudos, which means giants and big head puppets. And answer the following questions in English. They are in the order they appear in the video. So a few important things here. We don't need to listen to the whole video, only 1 minute and 10 seconds. We have to answer in English, which is easy because we have multiple choice answers, which are already in English. And then having into account that the order of the video is the same order than the questions. So that is going to help us to answer accordingly. So we also can see that we have 5 questions and that one of them is an example. That's why I can get only up to 4 marks, 1 for each of the rest questions. So let's focus on the example because it always helps us. And here it says, how are the gigantes first described? So I show you the transcript of that minute and 10 seconds. And here you have to understand not only tall, which in Spanish is alto or alta, but also you have to understand words like very or quiet or quiet. So it gives you a clue of how important in this exam was to understand the little words like quantifiers like very or quiet, because they completely change the meaning of the adjective they go with. So let's start reading the transcript to find why very tall was the answer. It says, los gigantes bailan en la calle. The giants dance in the street. Es divertido. It is fun. ¿Cómo son los gigantes? How are the giants? Son muy altos. They are very tall. And here we have our answer. So the next question would be based on the information that comes after the example. So just as we did in the reading part of the exam, it's very important before you listen to the recording that you write down your familiar words or cognates in order to focus on those possible answers when you are listening to the recording. So in this case, I know beard is barba, beard and mustache is barba y bigote, and the dark hair is pelo negro o moreno. The question says the first male gigante, and the male is expressed in gigante by ending in "y." What is said to have? So these 2 first lines were part of the example, so I eliminate them, and I know that I have to focus in the next sentence to answer this question. And it says, este gigante tiene barba. It doesn't continue, it doesn't say "y", which is "and", so option B would not be a choice. It doesn't say anything about hair, so it's not dark hair. And the answer, as 6 of you answered successfully, was option A, a beard. Again, previously to the recording, I took my notes, so I know that long hair is pelo largo, that pretty is guapa, that brunette is morena, and again, pelo largo is long hair, and that tall is alta. And I'm going to put alta because we're talking about a female gigante. So the ending for feminine words and adjectives A. So I'm going to be listening for these choices. So the first female gigante is said to what? I eliminate the information we have listened to already, and I focus on my next line as the order of the questions and the recording are in the same order. So it says, esta giganta, and look, it ends in A because it's feminine. So esta giganta es morena y tiene el pelo largo. This female giant is brunette and has long hair. So it doesn't say anything about being pretty. I eliminate option A. It doesn't say anything about being tall. I eliminate option C. And as 7 of you got successfully, it's option B. Again here, I took my notes. So I know glasses is gafas in Spanish, but I'm not very sure about how to say bad temper. So I didn't write anything. For example, again, I know gafas. And here I know for option C, I know gafas again. And maybe I was not so sure about how to say nose, but I know that big is grande. So I'm going to be, when I'm listening, I am listening to identify if gafas has something else after. If there's more information, it may be option A or option C. And if they only say mention gafas, then it's going to be option B. So we already went through these options, and now I am in this part of the listening, which says, el gigante lleva gafas y tiene la nariz grande. So, el gigante lleva gafas. But because it wears glasses, but it carries on. So I'm going to eliminate option B because it says something else. And it says, y tiene la nariz grande. It has a big nose. So I don't know about temper. It doesn't say anything about mal, about bad. So, but it says something about grande. It says, mentions something else, and it mentions grande, which I know. So I eliminate option A, and I'm gonna go for option C. And 8 of you got this answer successfully. Our final part of the text is related to a female giant. And here I also took my notes. I put that curly hair is pelo rizado, that the red hair is pelo rojo or pelirroja. And I mix both things. Having red and curly hair is pelo rojo, pelirroja, y pelo rizado. So when I'm listening, I'm going to be listening if I just, in order to distinguish, if I only hear one of those choices or both of them, like in option C. And in the line we're going to read, it says, la giganta es pelirroja. The female giant is red-haired. So it doesn't mention anything about curly hair. So we eliminate A and C, and our answer, as 7 of you spotted, was option B.